Welcome to Liberty Today. U.S. Senate candidate Stace Nelson takes on ObamaCare. Gordon talks to a landowner hard hit by a tax hike. And Judge Morgan throws the book at Rantin Randazzo. You won't want to miss this on Liberty Today.
We've been hearing all the states begin to report about the increase in insurance premiums as a result of Obamacare, some as high as 200%. I think in South Dakota, it's probably going to be between 30 and 40% increase initially. And Stace, one of your planks in the contract with South Dakota is to support the full repeal of Obamacare.
Yes, sir, which should not come as a surprise to anybody in the state of South Dakota that has paid attention to where I've stood on the issues. For the last 3 years of being in the legislature, I've opposed a lot of the efforts here in South Dakota to implement Obamacare. Now, a lot of folks say, well, these Republicans are only opposing it because they want to keep people from having health care. No, that's not it. I come with personal experience with government health care. I am a disabled vet, and for 14 years I've had to deal with the bureaucracy of the VA machine. Now, the health care I receive from the medical professionals, they're good people, but to try and explain in such a short amount of time the amount of bureaucracy that is there to keep you from getting medical care, we don't have enough time. But as a result of what I've seen with the VA healthcare system, I keep and I pay for my own Blue Cross Blue Shield health insurance for my family and myself, because I've seen that government healthcare is not reliable. And it's a major problem for all of us, and we should not want the federal government involved in any of our health care.
In case you're just tuning in to South Dakota politics, if you're listening in Minnesota or North Dakota, Stace Nelson is running for the United States Senate. And two of the candidates who are also running have a political record to deal with. One is former Governor Mike Rounds, who did everything he could do to kill the Health Care Freedom Act in 2010, and he's got a long history of supporting government-run health care. Another candidate who has served in the state legislature practically since high school is someone, I believe, who also has a track record on Obamacare.
That's correct. In 2011, when I first took office, we had two bills that were pre-filed. It's my understanding they were pre-filed from the outgoing Rounds administration. It was Senate Bill 38 and 43 in 2011, which sought to enact major changes in our statutes that helped enact Obamacare here in South Dakota. I opposed Senate Bill 38, and I was not there for 43's vote. But one of my opponents did also support and voted for that. And it goes even further back than that. The former governor was on a task force with Tom Daschle to help enact Obamacare across the United States, and the governor accepted $5 million from the Obama administration to help enact Obamacare here in the state of South Dakota. And my understanding that within days of Obamacare being passed, preceding that, the governor was at the White House meeting with President Obama about it. Clearly, that's not opposition to it. We've tried to bring bills here in South Dakota in the last 3 years that would oppose Obamacare and keep and protect South Dakotans from that massive takeover of their health industry, their health care from occurring.
The question comes to my mind, Stace. This president, Barack Obama, has a long history of just dismissing, not even communicating with people that disagree with him. So the question in my mind is, why was former Governor Rounds in the White House if he so vehemently disagreed with the president on Obamacare?
Well, that's a good question. And his campaign has said that he'll take on all comers. Well, I'm here. I'm taking you on. And I'm asking that question. I think South Dakotans are asking that question. So I'd love to hear, and I'd love an explanation from the governor about, what were you doing there, and how were you helping enact Obamacare? Also, and I want to put that challenge out there. I'll accept the challenge, and I'll throw my own challenge out there. I'll stand side by side with each one of these candidates in every city in the state of South Dakota, and I will look South Dakotans in the eye and tell them who I am, what I represent, my life history of serving them, and my record in the South Dakota legislature. And I will look you in the eyes and I'll tell you where I stand on the issues. And I would challenge each and every one of the other candidates to accept that challenge and engage in debates. Let's let South Dakotans decide who is the best qualified. I am the best qualified, not only because of my conservative credentials, but I've got 23.5 years of working for you as a Marine, then as a federal agent. I've got extensive experience in working with the Department of Defense, experience in law enforcement, counterterrorism, counterintelligence, the intelligence arena, and my experience in the state legislature proves that I will stand on conservative South Dakota principles, and I will fight for you, not only here in South Dakota, but in D.C.
Well, I think our friend Stace Nelson has demonstrated his willingness to take on the Republican establishment in favor of his constituents. And the question remains, why in the world would Governor Rounds be able to say that he opposes Obamacare when he did everything he could do to defeat the Healthcare Freedom Act of 2010 and served on a national board, a healthcare board with former Senator Tom Daschle, and spent time in the White House with Barack Obama? I think it'd be a helpful discussion to have the governor explain what he was doing there and how he can, with a straight face, tell us he really opposes Obamacare.